Hey, what's up, guys? Blue Player here. Want to go ahead and talk about the Tactics trailer from Undead Labs about State of Decay. Um, if you haven't seen the trailer completely, I'll go ahead and put it at the end and let it run through, and I'll talk about sort of like miscellaneous facts about State of Decay. But for right now, I want to go ahead and talk about what's happening right now. I paused it here because if you look at the zombies, they're doing one of those highway zombies. If you haven't played that, it's where they jump onto the car. And what's cool about this is when they jump on, they latch and they can rip doors open. They can tear survivors out, break the windshield, all that good stuff. This car probably wouldn't care right now. But if you look at the minimap, there's two little green dudes, like the bathroom symbol, but green. I think those are survivors that you can actually go save. There's also this like little, it looks like the little castle symbol from Mario. It's green. Maybe that's like a house that he already saved or something. But either way, let's go ahead and start on to the next part. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and pause it here for a second for actually a couple of reasons. One is the blast from the car killed a crap ton of zombies. But it didn't do anything to our survivor. He's back on his feet in like a matter of half a second. The 1830 stands for how much ammo he has. He doesn't have his gun out yet, but it's just there still, I guess, for some reason. Uh, on the mini-map, there is the knife and the fork, which in the gardening trailer was the symbol for the food. So I'm guessing that they're showing you sort of places that you can scavenge for food. I'm guessing it wouldn't show up on the big map, but on the mini-map, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, hey, get here, you're close enough. Like in Far Cry 3 with the leaves, they weren't on the big map, but they're on the little map. For those of you that haven't played Far Cry 3, go get it. You should be ashamed of yourself. Either way, the zombies on the map, there's red and there's gray. The red ones are the aggravated ones, the ones that are attacking you and are trying to eat your brains. The other ones are the ones that have no idea where your brains are, but would still eat them if they knew where you were. So, in other words, they have no idea where the hell you are. That's pretty much it for this slide, though. The explosion didn't do anything to the survivor. I would love to know how much damage all that does. There's an occasion in here where the survivor gets attacked by a zombie and it doesn't do anything to his health. The blue bar is either food, hunger, or energy. One of those two. Not entirely sure because they don't seem to change again. Don't know if that's just because of the beta. But either way, we'll go ahead and continue with this thing. Okay, so just like I said, the 18 went down to 16, so that was how many shots he had. Then it shows up this homemade suppressor with a 30 in parentheses. Pretty much, the more he uses the suppressor, the less he can use it. What I'm saying is, it's kind of like in Dead Rising, when you had a broom, you can only smack a zombie with it so many times before it disintegrated. I don't know if that's what's going to happen to the suppressor when it runs out. I'm willing to bet that it probably would, but it has a 0 under the suppressor, so I'm guessing you can have more than one suppressor with you. That way, when one runs out, I don't know if you'll have to reattach it, like by going into the menu and attaching it, or it'll just automatically reattach itself. But that's something to look at. Also, if you look in the background, next to that little hut is a zombie coming out. I don't know if it was alerted because he started using a gun, or if it was because he was just randomly walking and he finally saw the survivor. Either way, that's about it for this one. If you notice, it takes one headshot to kill the zombies, but it would take a couple body shots, and that's actually about it. We'll go ahead and continue with this thing. Okay, so this is the instance that I was talking about where he gets attacked by a zombie and his health nor the blue bar goes down. So it might be because it's a beta, as I said, but it kind of irks me. I'd like to know how much damage a zombie can do, how much that car explosion would have done. But either way, I wanted to throw that out there, and we'll go ahead and watch this dude get chomped on. Okay, so I paused here for a couple of reasons. One, if you guys didn't notice, a couple zombies were gray and they turned red, just so that's kind of like evidence that that's what happens. I also paused because of the combat training thing that pulled up. I'm guessing it's one of those things that it's like a side mission. There is a storyline, but like I said, you're not pinned to it. This might be just one of those alerts. Um, but I think it would be like at the beginning. You know how they have those like, oh, learn how to use your bow, learn how to swing a machete. I think that's might be what this is. Um, can't be sure. I mean, it's training. How much training would you need after the zombie apocalypse already started? But anyway, we'll go ahead and continue. Just wanted to show those things real quick. Although that zombie took a buttload of hits with that machete. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but okay, that's the last thing. We'll go ahead and keep going. Okay, so I paused it here. In the background, right under where it says combat training, those are all zombies. Those little black dots next to the house. I want you to notice when he goes over to attack these zombies, look how close he gets. He uses a gun, and none of them really seem to notice he's there. Before they did, but right now they don't. He uses both the machete and the shot or the pistol. But just notice how close they get, but they don't really seem to like give a care about it. But anyway, we'll go ahead and continue. Okay, so I paused it right here because in the top left it says mini mart and resources. There's 3 question marks. So, and in the mini map there's a couple question marks, and then there's the food symbol. Not entirely sure if there's only like 3 resources in there, or there's like 3 things that you can get all together. Like I said, not entirely sure. I know for sure there's some food in there. You'll find out here in a second. But either way, I just wanted to point out those little question million marks. Okay, so I paused it right here. It was food. There's one other question mark, and there's a zombie that isn't aggravated outside on the mini map, you can tell. There's load rucksack, break open, not entirely sure what that means. There's radio home, and close. He's got a pistol, and a machete, and 13 bullets, and it shows how much they weigh. But on the food, it doesn't really say. It doesn't say how much the food weighs. It didn't show how much the bullet weighs. The bullets weighed in the distraction trailer. Maybe they'll change that. Maybe they won't. But either way, this guy's going to go ahead and call some survivors, and I'll go ahead and let it roll on from here. Okay, so I paused it here for a ton of reasons. One, if you look at the top right of this radio assistance, there's channels. So I'm wondering if those are like bases or outposts or different people that you can talk to at different places. You have available influence. Not entirely sure how you gain influence. It might be how much your community likes you. I know the gardens, all the buildings had certain influence that you needed, so it probably is something like that. But I mean, look at all this stuff. Call for scavengers, establish outpost, relocate home base. It's a ton of information right there. I mean, words of advice and words of encouragement, I'm not entirely what those mean. Construction advice, death from above, vehicle delivery, all that sounds beautiful. But if you look at the top left, one of the question marks changed into the food icon. So I'm wondering if on the mini map, if he had grabbed that other question mark, if it would have changed into whatever that was. One thing that's pretty cool is it gives you the definition. I wish he had scrolled down over some more so we could have read them right there with the little army dude standing there. It looks kind of like a military Statue of Liberty. But either way, I'm gonna go ahead and let it play through. Just wanted to point all that stuff out to you.
I found some supplies. Send runners for pickup.
They'll be on their way soon.
Okay, so I paused it here. He called for radio help. It's really cool because on the map it shows a whole bunch of stuff. There's the influence thing I was talking about at the top left, that little star with the circle thing. That's what was bugging me in the other video. But right on the corner, there's a green survivor, and then right next to that is this. I think that's a horde. That's probably what it is. They move around. There's a whole bunch of survivors there, so that would be chaotic trying to save those. If those are survivors, who knows? Maybe they could be open bathrooms or something. But right there, there's the guy. He's scrolled right over him. That's the guy who's coming to pick it up. If you watch later, I'll pause it there too, but a zombie actually picks up and starts following him. And it's great that it shows you, because then you know how much trouble they're in, and you know if you should go help them or not. But wanted to go ahead and point all that stuff out to you. Okay, so like I said, you can see the zombies following him. The horde thing didn't really move. That might not be a horde, but I'm willing to bet it is. But either way, we'll just keep going real quick.
Okay, we're here.
Okay, so our survivor gained a skill. What's awesome about that is either it's just for that, just for fighting, or you get to spend it in a certain way for fighting. Like they have a skill tree. Not entirely sure. Either way, congrats to him. He got a skill. That's what it'll look like. Freaking awesome. I'm going to go ahead and let the trailer play out, and then I will start it over again and kind of talk about miscellaneous information. But anyway, let me go ahead and let it play out real quick.
Look around, see what we got.
Okay, so now that that trailer's over, we'll go ahead and watch the new one. I took all the audio out just so I can talk. I can't talk when the audio's there, but it's kind of weird. I don't know. I don't like it. Either way, I want you guys to remember these are alpha and beta stage videos. They can still make a lot of changes, so if there is something different, don't worry about it. Another thing I want to talk about is zombie size. The zombie he just took down was buff as hell, or fat as hell, my bad. This one that's chomping him right now is buff as hell. They put a lot of definition into zombie characteristics. They didn't want them to be just the same size zombies, because in a real zombie apocalypse, there's going to be fat people, there's going to be short people, and there's going to be skinny people, and they're all going to be different ways to take them down. The buff dude, or the fat dude's obviously going to be a little harder to hit. I mean, you saw him take a beating, and the buff dude was pretty fast. They do have fast and slow zombies. I think that's great. Another thing I want to talk about, since we're on the silencer part of the video, is gun deterioration. I know these guns are going to need repair every now and then. I know silencers you probably find, or maybe there's someone who can build them. But that is if you can find or save a survivor that has that certain skill. I know you're going to need certain add-ons to the base, and even if you do have them, it's not going to make much of a difference if you don't have someone who knows what to do with those. And it really depends on who you save. You can go through the entire campaign and shoot all the survivors except for I don't know if you can kill the storyline survivors, but you can just kill those green ones right there. You can go kill them. You can run out, but someone will say, "I know where more survivors are," and it's not going to be as many as there would have been had you not killed them. But either way, that's pretty much going to be it for the video. Go ahead and check out Undead Labs' official site. Like them on Facebook, like them on Twitter. If they're when they release the release date, you want to be one of the first to know. Do it. If you haven't seen any of the other videos I've made, go check those out. I'll put links to everything. But thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one.